The massive Kefir warrior stood bleeding in the doorway of Research Station Omega-7, its 6 legs trembling with exhaustion. Dr. Sarah Chun looked up from her xenobiology samples, her heart racing as she took in the sight of the apex predator that had terrorized this sector for decades. "Please," the creature rasped through its universal translator, its voice a grinding whisper. "My cubs! They will die without protection." Behind the towering alien, Sarah could see 2 small forms huddled together, cubs no larger than house cats, their bioluminescent stripes pulsing weakly with fear. The Kefir's natural armor was cracked and scorched, evidence of whatever battle had brought it to her isolated research station. "The Zephyrians," the warrior continued, swaying dangerously. "They hunt my bloodline. I am the last adult. My cubs ... It collapsed forward, massive claws scraping against the metal floor. "Human, your species ... strange. Not prey. Not predator. Please." Sarah stared at the dying creature that could have easily torn her apart. Every instinct screamed at her to run, to seal the blast doors, to call for military backup. The Kefir were the boogeymen of the galaxy's 7 feet of muscle, claws, and killing instinct that had carved out an empire through pure violence. But the cubs were mewling softly, pressing against their parents' cooling body. "I'll keep them safe," Sarah whispered. The warrior's 6 eyes focused on her with surprising clarity. "You ... swear this?" "I swear it." The great head nodded once, then went still. Sarah stood alone with 2 orphan cubs of the galaxy's most feared predator species. The first week was chaos. The cubs, barely weaned, refused all food she offered. They hissed and swiped at her with tiny claws whenever she approached. Sarah researched frantically, synthesizing nutrients based on Kefir physiology data, adjusting temperature and humidity in the lab's biochambers. She named them Luna and Sol. The female was darker with silver stripes, while the male bore golden markings. Slowly, desperately, she began to understand their needs. The cubs required not just food, but stimulation. In the wild, Kefir young learned to hunt through play fighting and stalking games. Sarah found herself crawling around the lab on hands and knees, letting the cubs hunt her while she pretended to be prey. She built obstacle courses from lab equipment, teaching them to climb and pounce. Luna was the more aggressive of the 2, constantly testing boundaries and challenging Sarah's authority. Sol was quieter but more observant, studying Sarah's every movement with ancient intelligence in his young eyes. Months passed. The cubs grew rapidly, their adult instincts beginning to emerge. Sarah knew she was in danger. They were becoming capable of seriously harming her, and their predatory nature was awakening. Other researchers would have sedated them, caged them, or worse. Instead, Sarah did something unprecedented. She began teaching them restraint. "Gentle," she would say, letting Luna practice her pouncing technique but stopping the young Kefir before claws made contact. Family doesn't hurt family. She introduced concepts foreign to Kefir culture: cooperation without dominance, protection without possession, strength through mercy. When Sol brought her a killed lab mouse, actually a toy she'd hidden, she praised his hunting skill but explained why they didn't need to kill in their safe space. The breakthrough came during the supply run 6 months later. Pirates attacked the research station, believing it was defenseless. Sarah activated the emergency lockdown and huddled in the lab with Luna and Sol, now nearly adult size but still considered cubs by their species standards. The pirates breached the outer hull and began cutting through the blast doors. Luna and Sol moved to flank the entrance, their hunting instincts fully engaged. Sarah saw the predators they were becoming and realized they were positioning themselves to protect her. "Wait," she whispered. The cubs looked at her with confusion. Every instinct told them to attack, to kill the intruders. But months of trust had built something new. "Together," Sarah said simply. What happened next became legend throughout the galaxy. The pirates broke through to find not a helpless human researcher, but a coordinated pack. Sarah used her knowledge of the station's systems to trap and disorient. The invaders, while Luna and Sol moved with surgical precision, disabling, not killing, exactly as she had taught them. The pirates fled and word spread quickly. A human had not only survived raising Kefir cubs, but had somehow taught them to hunt cooperatively without bloodlust. Within a year, xenobiologists from across the galaxy were requesting meetings. The Kefir hegemony, traditionally isolationist and hostile, sent an official delegation. They found Luna and Sol now fully grown but still deferring to their human pack leader, helping Sarah with her research, their incredible senses and strength augmenting her scientific work. "Impossible," declared Warlord Kefek, the cub's distant relative. "My species knows only dominance or submission. You are neither prey nor superior. What are you to them?" Sarah looked at Luna and Sol, who flanked her protectively, but without aggression. "I'm family." The concept revolutionized galactic understanding of interspecies relationships. Sarah's methods became required study for diplomats and xenobiologists. The Chun Protocol established new frameworks for cross-species adoption and care, but the most significant change came from the Kefir themselves. Luna and Sol became ambassadors for their species, demonstrating that cooperation and restraint could coexist with strength. Their children, raised with human concepts of family and pack loyalty, became the first generation of Kefir to forge peaceful alliances with other species. Years later, as Sarah watched Sol's cubs play hunting with her graduate students while Luna taught a class on predator psychology, she reflected on that desperate moment when a dying warrior had trusted her. With its most precious legacy dot, the galaxy had learned something profound. That humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology or their numbers, but their ability to see family in the most unlikely places, and to teach others that strength and compassion were not opposites, but partners. The Kefir were still apex predators, but now they were apex protectors too, and the galaxy was safer for it.